Alright, so I really don't know how the hell to, run video and tear stuff apart, so you'll just kind of get little snippets. It's pretty much how all our videos are going to be for a while until we figure this stuff out. So you get, X amount of stuff, and then we'll bounce, and then we'll make no way edit it all, and we'll have something. I don't know, maybe you guys are still paying attention. If not, well, that's on you, not me, because I'm still doing cool stuff. We'll have this thing out, hopefully this year at some point. I know by the time we get it done, there'll probably be a lot of races for y'all to come out and check it out, but it'll definitely be out next summer. So maybe by then we might be better at this. I don't know. We're gonna try, or maybe we won't. I don't know. I mean, we'll just tear stuff apart. And, right now, look, guys, I am totally taking apart the power steering line so I can get this stupid locked up small block Chevy out of here.
Almost got boost on it.
The old Hydro Boost system, like the dude pointed out here, we got multiple lines going every which way but straight. So that guy's out. Might leak a little bit, but that's good. So,
yeah, it's going to.
Right. On to the next thing. I probably will. That's fine. It's just gonna leak. If your shit leaks, that means that it has fluid in it. If it doesn't leak, then, well, it probably doesn't have fluid in it. Right? Probably why this thing locked up. I mean, when I bought this thing, I knew that the motor was out, and we didn't check the oil, didn't check the radiator fluid. We didn't try to crank it over. We just started tearing it apart because, you know why? LS. I mean, we're totally just going to go for the whole deal. We're actually doing more of a swap than most people do. Or don't. But regardless, this junky thing will not turn over now. I mean, we had down here on the dinner bell and she would not turn over. So, well, time for her to get evicted. Much like this did from my street where I live. There's the buzz gun. So we didn't test anything on the motor. We tested everything in the back of the cab back here. Everything back here works. It works good. The AC blows super cold. We just don't have a, high enough output outlet to turn the AC on, so I am burning up back here.
You got any regular sockets in here?
I don't know. That was the bag we used to pull the LS motors at the junkyard.
I'm going with no, you don't.
So in the meantime, dude's got to walk around all the rest of our junk to go to the other toolbox.
Here's the gun, regardless.
Shameless plug on Bauer Tools. Guys, these things are awesome. Harbor Freight. I have the 1/2-inch impact. I've got the 3/8 impact. I've got the drill, the cutoff wheel, the sawzall, all that stuff. Man, their stuff is top notch. It works great. When you have the socket that you need. You can do the other screwdriver as well for me right now. And as y'all notice, somebody's gonna ask, where's No Way? Well, he ain't here right now. Apparently he had a girls softball conference or a children's volleyball game or something. I'm not really for sure, but so he's not here right now. He would have been able to, like run the camera just slightly better and do a lot of stuff I don't want to do. So since he's not here because of some, wiffle ball tournament, y'all get to stare at me doing this stuff. You can blame him later. Somewhere in there. There's just a lot of crap back here. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I think we're going to go to a commercial break because I got to get the hell out of here. My legs hurt sitting like this. Oh.
Are we recording? Yeah. Alright, here we are. We're pulling this motor out. As you can see, I don't recommend anybody trying this because this is a pain in the butt. Seems like everything's in your way trying to come out of a van front end. But if you just keep working at it, you can get it. We originally pulled the full assembly, the motor tower out, got it up, then we pulled the motor mounts up and we could see them easily. Got those, at least this side here, out where we could get to it. We had to cut the exhaust in a couple of different places to get it to come out of there.
It wasn't coming unbolted.
All this thing here is all plate that holds all these accessories. Made it a nightmare. We tried to do with the plate on. You may or may not want to do that yourself. We did have to pull the alternator off of it because it's got an angle here on this doghouse and it was going to hit everything. So everything's just been a pain, but we're getting there, as you can tell. So just keep hanging there watching. We're going to finish dragging this thing out of here.
A couple more tugs, I think she's out.
I do too.
If anybody needs a locked up, small block Chevy, I got one. Come get it.
5.7.
But anyway, so now that we got it out, we're gonna go ahead and take a little lunch break. We started, actually did pretty good. We did this whole thing in 2 nights. We came down here last night after I got off work and got the bulk majority. I mean, you guys seen me in the doghouse just ripping and pulling and cutting and doing everything. Then this morning, the stuff that you didn't see, that's because you really couldn't. It was a lot of me underneath this thing. I had to cut the exhaust. I couldn't get the manifold bolts to come undone or the collector bolts come undone. But really, everything you guys saw in the previous was really the big stuff. The stuff this morning before we yanked the motor was just simple. So, I mean, it wasn't fun, but it wasn't the worst thing I've done.
We did take the throttle body off this thing. We put this little motor plate on here. And I was really surprised that there's only 3 bolts that hold this throttle body on here, and there's 3 bolts holding the plate on, and those 3 bolts with this little contraption here lifted the motor and the transmission together, so I was quite impressed with that.
And a lot of you guys know how heavy a Turbo 400 is. It is not a light transmission, but it's lighter than the 4L80 that's going back in it.
Yeah.
So anyway, like I said, we're going to stop, take a lunch break, kind of get regrouped. We got tools and junk everywhere. We'll get this torn apart and find a ditch for this 350 somewhere. And then we've got the new motor sitting over here. The tranny is getting built currently as we speak, I hope. So, probably be a day or two of kind of cleaning up, the mess back here, make sure everything's good. I got to fix a brake line. It kind of bounced the cut-off wheel into a brake line. When you're kind of working like this, it doesn't work out too well. But anyway, thanks guys, stay tuned.
Going through the hole.
Alright, so we're back down here again at the Questionable Performance Solutions shop, and I made a nice little blunder just a second ago, and I knew I was going to do it, so I should have been prepared, but I wasn't. So if you all want to look, right down there is a bucket of oil, so I thought I'd be smart and put my phone in the toolbox. Well, I got a text from Norway letting me know that his wiffle ball tournament or volleyball or whatever the hell he does when he's not here, he let me know that it went good. Apparently the team won. He had like 9 baskets and 2 home runs or something wild. I wasn't really paying attention. He's not here, so it doesn't matter. But so I went to grab my phone and dumped it right in that bucket of oil. And hey, at least I was quick on the draw, got it back out, got it cleaned off, so my phone still works. That's good. So anyways, after disaster averted, we came down here tonight, and as you can tell, it's dark, so we're down here a little bit later than normal. We got some parts for the neighbor hater. Got a hold of Summit Racing, ordered one of the towing cams for the 5.3 series. you know, whatever they call it. I don't know. It's not the ghost cam. I do know that. The low lift cam, whatever. Then we ended up getting the Summit Racing LS motor swap plates for the motor mounts on the LS, and you can see the dude's back here working hard. I think he's playing solitaire. Then on top of that stuff, we got the valve seals, bolts, and then I got a nice box of LS springs. So we're gonna have the neighbor hater going, well, sometime soon, hopefully. Then in the meantime, I don't know if I covered this last time, but so when we yanked the motor out of it, I got a little happy with the cutoff wheel and cutting the exhaust off. You know, the bolts are rusted solid, so it wouldn't come out. The cutoff wheel kind of jumped and bounced and gacked the brake line, so I had to run over to the local O'Reilly's and get some new line. So that's going to be project number one to do tonight, especially since we got the motor out. You know, we got a bunch of room. Motor's not in the way, train's not in the way. You know, you can kind of see it back there. So with everything out of the way, I'll go ahead and bend up this brake line and get her set back. So we go ahead and put the motor in here in, well, maybe a week. I don't know. That mainly depends on when I get the 4L80 back from Nichols Performance out here in Green Valley. Justin, great dude, took care of me on that. He went ahead and, you know, he had a couple cores that he had. I didn't. I'm gonna find one though. But so he went ahead and started one for me. So I'm gonna get one of those good old carry-out units from him. Be a nice little rebuild unit for the neighbor hater. So just hold on tight, and I'll climb my little self in there and do some brake line work.